There's been a lot of great baseball players from New Brunswick over the years, and this guy came in what I call the super wave of pitchers from New Brunswick and hitters that really dominated the Major League Baseball headlines back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. Jason Dixon was one, the great Real Cormier, and of course this guy who is built like a linebacker, hits like a pro softball player, but probably has the quickest bat in MLB history, no doubt, because his swing is something that every child's father would say, don't mimic it, but it's tremendous. So today we're talking about the pride of Tay Creek, New Brunswick. I'm glad to say I've covered him on and off as a coach, as a player, as an athlete since the beginning of his major league career back in the mid 80s. It's got to be Matt Stairs. Now, Matthew Wade Stairs, a native of St. John, who grew up in Tay Creek, New Brunswick. Beautiful community, by the way. Born February 27, 68. He's a former pro baseball outfielder, first baseman, and designated hitter. He holds the world record for most pinch hit home runs in Major League Baseball history with 23. His pinch hit home run in the 8th inning of Game 4 in the 2008 NLCS off of LA Dodgers reliever Jonathan Broxton was called one of the most memorable home runs in Phillies history. And that's saying a lot because it ranks up there with Schmidt against the Expos in 1980. In his career, Stairs played for more teams than any position player in MLB history, another world record, 12, technically 13 teams, but 12 franchises, as he played for the Expos and Washington Nationals. Edwin Jackson holds the record for pitchers and all players at 14. He was the second Canadian-born player ever to hit more than 35 home runs in a season, and only the second to hit more than 25 dingers and drive in more than 100 runs in back-to-back seasons. He ranks either first or second in power hitting categories for Canadian Major League players. Stairs also holds the all-time MLB record again, as I mentioned, for home runs as a pinch hitter. His ability to pinch hit made him a valuable asset to several teams and earned him the nickname Matt Stairs Pro Hitter. Now, Stairs, Larry Walker, Justin Morneau, Jason Bay, and Joey Votto, and again, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. are the only Canadian MLB players who hit at least 200 career home runs. On February 4, 2015, he was elected to Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, and of course a member of the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Now, growing up in that beautiful area of Tay Creek, Stairs showed athletic ability at an early age, playing Beaver League baseball a year before his age eligibility, and he also excelled in hockey. After playing bantam and midget baseball at age 16 and 17, he played for the local Marysville Royals of the top flight New Brunswick Senior Baseball League and was voted Rookie of the Year in 84 and the league's MVP in 85. He was also named Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League MVP in 87 and 88 while playing for the Fredericton Schooners, who were part of that Nova Scotia-based association. Now, he attended the National Baseball Institute NBI in Vancouver for 1 year and played for Canada at the 87 World Amateurs in Italy, where he was named to the World All-Star squad. In 88, he joined the Canadian junior national team after graduating from FHS. From there, he went on to play for the Canadian Olympic team at the 88 Summer Olympics in Seoul, South Korea. So it was a running joke, ladies and gentlemen, when he had a display of Matt Stairs' uniforms at the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. I think nationally, internationally, in minor leagues, there was probably 3 dozen, and including Team Canada and his time in Japan for the Chunichi Dragons. Now, on January 7, 1989, he was signed as an international free agent by the Expos. Stairs was then assigned to low single-A Jamestown Expos, where he played second and third. He played double-A ball in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for the Harrisburg Senators, where he led the league in hitting and was voted the Eastern League's 91 most valuable player. In 92-93, he moved up to AAA, Indianapolis and Ottawa respectively, with only brief appearances in the majors. Over his career, Stairs has played for 600 minor league teams: the Great Indianapolis Indians in 92, the Ottawa Lynx in 93, the New Britain Red Sox in 94, the Pawtucket Red Sox in 95, the Edmonton Trappers in 96, and a few rehab games for the Nashville Sounds AAA in 2003. His totals in the minors include a .291 batting average with 46 home runs and 237 runs batted in. Now, on June 8, 93, His contract was purchased by Chunichi Dragons of the NPB. He played 60 games there, hitting .250 with 6 home runs and 23 RBIs in 142 at-bats. So we're going to give a breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your ear to the grindstone. Played with the Expos in 92 to 93, then the Dragons in 93. The Red Sox in 95, the Athletics, where he had his big success early on between 96 and 2000. Played with the Cubs in 2001, the Brewers in 2002, the Pirates in 2003, the Kansas City Royals in 04 to 06, the Rangers in 06, the Tigers in 06, and he had 2 big years in Toronto with the Blue Jays, 07 and 08. Played with the Phillies 08-09, of course, the World Series win in 08. San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals. He's also been a coach 2017 for the Phillies and 2018 with the Padres. Again, World Series champion in 2008, Baseball Hall of Fame induction in 2015. I wouldn't be surprised he makes the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame down the road as well. Now, he played sporadically with the Expos in 92 and then was re-signed as a free agent. He ended up playing in 19 games for the Expos from 92 to 93. Stairs was sold on February 18, 94 to the Red Sox and went to New Britain for a little while, where he batted .309 with 9 home runs and 61 RBIs. Now, after he started the 90th season with Pawtucket, he was called up to majors in 95. He played in 39 games, .261 with 1 home run and 17 RBIs. At the end of the season, he accepted an offer to play with the Athletics after playing as a free agent. Now, this is where his big reputation was built. He had his best years of his career playing for the Athletics. He was called up for AAA Edmonton in 96 after crushing the IL pitching to a tune of .344 with 8 homers and 41 RBIs over 51 games. He played mostly in right field as a designated hitter backing up. As we call him the number 4, we used to call him around the office the number 4, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, and Ricky Henderson. I can imagine the conversation. So where are you from there, Matt? Oh, I'm from a little community in New Brunswick, Tay Creek. If you fart, you miss it. There was rumors of stories that literally Mark McGuire said basically, how the hell did you make it to the majors? That's a long way from Tay Creek to play with 3 Hall of Famers like that, or should have been Hall of Famers. Now, in the July 15, 96 debut at Oakland, he tied a major league record with 6 runs batted in during 1 inning. That first inning performance included a grand slam and a 2-run single, subsequently broke by Fernando Tatis in 1999. In 99, he finished 17th in the AL in the MVP race with a .258 batting average, 38 home runs, and 102 RBIs in 146 games. Now, these are kind of Vladimir Guerrero numbers. Now, after 5 seasons with the A's, during which he hit 122 home runs and drove in 315 RBIs, he was traded on November 20th, 2000, a bad deal, for minor league pitcher Eric Ireland. The trade was largely seen as a cost-cutting move by the cash-strapped Athletics. Stairs was set to earn $3.2 million for the 2001 season, which I think at the time was the biggest salary for any New Brunswick-based athlete, and his production had dropped in 2000, hitting just .227 with 21 homers and 81 RBIs. Now, when he signed a 1-year contract with the Cubs, 3.2 in 2000 to avoid arbitration, he served as a first baseman for them in 2001. He had an OPB of .358 and with .250 with 17 home runs and 61 RBIs, 128 games. Now, he then did become a free agent and then signed a 1-year contract with the Brewers, finishing the season in 2002, 1641, .244. Now, he then signed a $900,000 contract with the Pirates for 2002. For 2003. It was a strong year, comeback year for Stairs. 292, 57 RBIs, and 128 games. Stairs' 2003 season included a 3-game series back in Canada against the Blue Jays, where we went 5 for 8, including 2 long home runs. Now, he went to Kansas City in 03. He enjoyed 3 solid years with the Royals, hitting 39 home runs in his 2.5 years in KC. Despite being on one of the worst teams in baseball, Stairs helped some of the younger players like John Buck and David DeJesus adjust to the minors. He was eventually sent to the Rangers for Joselio Diaz. Now, the Rangers were hoping Stairs could provide some veteran leadership on their club, but he just played in 26 games, 210, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs before being waived. Then was picked up by waivers of the Tigers on September 15, 2006. Now, the day was claimed. He immediately went to Detroit, arriving at Comerica Park halfway through the contest, and immediately taking Marcus Thames' place in the lineup. The Tigers picked up Stairs and hoped the experience could help them hold their division lead. The Tigers lost their division lead the final day of the season, but still clinched a wild card. In 14 games with the Tigers, he batted .244 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Since he was acquired after August 31st, the deadline for playoff-eligible players, he was unable to play for the Detroit during the postseason. They went on to win the AL pennant and lost in the World Series to the Cardinals. He did not resign with the Tigers following the season. Now, his most prominent years after Oakland was in Detroit. On December 7, 2006, Stairs and the Blue Jays agreed to a 1-year minor league contract with invitation to spring training. He made the team and saw significant playing time as a fourth outfielder, replacing Lyle Overbay at first during Overbay's time in the DL. The 2007 season rejuvenated Stairs' career and made him a new legend across Canada due to increased playing time following injuries to Reed Johnson and Overbay. Now, unexpectedly playing every day, he performed well above expectations, providing consistency at the plate and a valuable veteran presence in a Toronto dugout. Team manager John Gibbons publicly stated, "I don't know where we'd be without him." As of September 4th, Stairs had the highest slugging average on the Jays at .606 and was batting .312. Now, on August 8, 2007, he became the first Toronto Blue Jays player to hit 5 consecutive doubles and 5 at-bats, and the first major leaguer to double in 5 straight at-bats in 14 years since Charles Johnson accomplished the feat in 1993. As of September 8, 2007, Stairs was playing well for the Blue Jays, batting .315 on the season and a .989 OPS. He finished the campaign with a .289 average and 21 homers and 64 RBIs. Good numbers for a 39-year-old, but only about 400 bats in a year. Now, I don't know how many Canadian players, baseball players, could do that at the advanced age of 39, but Matt's always had that quick bat, and that's what helped him. Now, on November 2nd, 2007, Stairs and the Blue Jays agreed on a 2-year, $3.25 million contract, which included a $1.25 million signing bonus and a $1 million base salary in each of the 2 seasons. With performance bonuses, Stairs could make as much as $3.5 million based on plate appearances. Though his age and increasingly poor speed earned him a reputation as a defensive liability in the outfield, he still possessed a strong throwing arm and was considered a perfect capable fielder at first. In 2008, Stairs initially platooned in left with Shannon Stewart. However, upon the club's release of Frank Thomas on April 20th, Stairs became the everyday DH for the ball club, although he's later designated for assignment on August 28, 2008. Now, on August 30, 2008, Stairs was traded to the Philadelphia Phillies for Fabio Castro. This was 1 day before the eligibility. Stairs hit his first career postseason home run on October 13, 2008 in Game 4 of the NLCS of Johnson Broxton, allowing the Phillies to take the lead and win the game. He won his first World Series ring of his 16-year career on October 29, 2008, when the Phillies knocked off the Rays 4-1. On April 12, 2009, his game-winning home run against the Colorado Rockies was the last home run called by broadcaster Harry Callis, who died unexpectedly less than 24 hours later. Now, Stairs faced Broxton again in the ninth inning of Game 4 of the 2009 LCS rematch between the Phillies and Dodgers at Citizens Bank Park. He pitched around Stairs, walking him on 4 pitches. The Phillies won the game later in the inning on a walk-off double by Jimmy Rollins, on which Stairs pinch runner Eric Bruteliet scored. In 2009 season, he once again made the World Series, but the Phillies lost to the Yankees in 6 games. Now, during his time with the team, T-shirts were marketed which touched on Stairs' pinch-hitting prowess in clutch situations. They used a warning which can be found in many elevators. In case of emergency, use Stairs. Now, he signed a minor league contract with the Padres in 2010. He went on a hell kick in the offseason, losing nearly 40 pounds, which helped him make the team out of spring training. When he joined the Padres, he became the only player in MLB history to play for all 469 expansion teams. And on August 21st, Stairs hit his 21st home run as a pinch hitter to break a tie with Cliff Johnson for the Major League record. Now, in late December 2010, the Nationals signed Stairs to a non-guaranteed minor league contract, which included an invitation to Major League spring training. After spring training, he was placed on a 25-man roster and went north with the squad. mostly used as a pinch hitter with 4 appearances at the first. He's 64 at-bats. He had 10 hits and 2 RBIs. He was designated for assignment on July 27, 2011, released in August 1st, and announced his retirement 2 days later. Now, again, he was a hitting coach for both the Phillies and Padres in the late 2010s. Now, noted baseball analysts Bill James and Joe Posnanowski have theorized that Stairs is probably a far more talented hitter than his career stats suggest. He didn't have 500 plate appearances until age 30, at which point he recorded 100 RBI seasons and adjusted OPS of over 130 2 years in a row, and never exceeded 500 plate appearances again after 3 straight seasons of 500 or more from 98 to 2000. James contends you put him in the right park, right position early in his career, he's going to hit a lot of bombs. And again, the quick bat, you can't teach that. He's got that New Brunswick style. We've always been a quick bat in New Brunswick. Now, if the years and the bats were different, he was could be enough to be worthy of Hall of Fame consideration as the ultimate, what they call professional hitter, and that's what he was. Now, in January 2012, Stairs accepted a job with the Nesson Sports News station to work as a Boston Red Sox studio analyst. On February 11, 2014, the Phillies announced that Stairs and fellow former Philly Jamie Moyer would join the team's TV broadcasting crew as color analysts, following the dismissal of Gary Matthews and Chris Wheeler. Stairs worked with play-by-play commentator Tom McCarthy and in-game reporter Greg Murphy, and occasionally with Ben Davis, before moving to the Phillies dugout as the team's hitting coach starting with the 2017 season. Now, currently, Stairs has signed on with an Alberta elite team to be a hitting coach. I think it's going to be a good job for him. But Stairs has done much in New Brunswick through Frankton Minor Ball and different programs. He always gives back. So whether he's doing something for pay or not, he is a role model to players and coaches of all ages. From 2 to 102, everybody in New Brunswick knows Matt Stairs, either personally or played with him, played against him. He is probably one of the most important athletes in New Brunswick history. He is what you would never say he was a role model. He would say, just look at what I've done and what he's accomplished. Because people look up to Matt Stairs because Matt Stairs is almost like a noun or a verb now. Be like Matt Stairs. I want somebody like Matt Stairs. Because Matt Stairs is Matt Stairs. That's all I would say. We've seen him in many different teams in many different situations, and he's always overachieving. But the thing is, if you play on some of these fields in New Brunswick where they're pretty good, but, the infield is literally, dust and ground. Like I played not in the senior league as Matt, but I played in the Rescue Intermediate Baseball League. And we heard about him back then. We heard about the rumblings of this guy, Matt Stairs, and said he's a phenom. And like I said, he was a phenom in New Brunswick before the Undertaker was called a phenom. Can you imagine? Like I said, we heard rumblings. It was almost like the second coming of Moses. And we saw Matt Stairs and said, that guy is just going to be like a natural ability to burn. Now, as a very interesting personal life, him and his beautiful wife, Lisa Assel of Frankton, they have 3 daughters, Nicole, Alicia, and Chandler. He currently lives in Frankton, and again has done numerous things in the region, including as coach of the Frankton High School hockey team in 2012, a job he has often referred to in print as being his dream. Now, inducted in the Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame in 2012, inducted in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015, and in November 2006, he was among those nominated and placed on the 2017 ballot for the Baseball Hall of Fame, but he did not receive enough votes to appear in future ballots. I think you will end up in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. I tell you why. You look at the history of maritime pro baseball. Again, it's hard to argue he's pretty well number one. No disrespect to the other great athletes we've had, but it's just tremendous. So we're going to look at the rough stats just to remind everybody. And yes, he did steal a base on occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he also played in the 2006 World Baseball Classic for Canada, and some key players on that included the great Stubby Clapp, Jeff Francis, Adam Lowen, Sebastian Boucher, Chris Ritzma, Eric Bedard, Paul Quantrill, Korakowski, Jason Bay. his provincial teammate Real Cormier, and of course Ernie Witt. He was the Eastern League MVP for that big year. It was Canada's roster as well in the 2009 Canadian Baseball Classic. And on that squad, you had Brett Lowry, Stubby Clapp, Philip Aumont, Joey Votto, who played with the Blue Jays minor league this year, didn't make it. Justin Morneau was on that team. Russell Martin, another Blue Jay, Scott Richmond, Corey Koski, Jason Bay, and of course head coach Ernie Witt again, with Larry Walker, Quantrill Boucher, Tim Leiper, Greg Hamilton, and Greg Halloran as coaches. And again, a member of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame of that big class. Now, baseball is always been a big sport in New Brunswick. There's different people through the years that have done well. But like I said, you look at the key players from New Brunswick, Jason Dixon, Real Cormier really stands out. And when I say that, ladies and gentlemen, that was the big three that came up. Jason Dixon, who ironically gave up his first home run to Derek Jeter in it. So, well, we're looking at Baseball Reference, and it's very, very interesting. I'm going to give you the numbers he wore. Most of them was number 12. He's wore number 3, number 59, number 25, number 35, number 12, number 24, number 30, number 11, number 16. But his big number, of course, was number 12. So, career stats, 265 home runs, 1,366 hits, 899 RBIs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he stole 30 stolen bases. And 5'9", 200 pounds. Solid man. Like I said, almost a softball player as a baseball pro player. Now, his years with Montreal were quite interesting. Only played 19 games. But he went 3 for 8 in 93. Now, the big campaigns, of course, in Oakland, 98 to 99, 26, 106, 38, 102. But a totally consistent guy. His career, his season numbers would be 23, 77. Now, he almost was a 2010 guy in 98. He had 8 stolen bases that year. Now, a very good vision at the plate. In most years, his walks would match his strikeouts, which is pretty good. Now, he had 294 doubles in his career with 13 triples. Now, interesting look at these Toronto numbers. He's a big year in 2007, 2164 with a 289 average. And again, a very, very strong campaign. Now, the MVP voting in 1999 for Oakland, it was a very interesting year. These are the people he was up against. So that year he was considered a top 20 player in Major League Baseball. Here's who he was up against for the MVP. Okay, Ivan Rodriguez, Pedro Martinez, Roberto Alomar, Manny Ramirez, Rafael Palmeiro, Derek Jeter, Nomar Garcia-Pera, Jason Giambi, Sean Green, Ken Griffey, Bernie Williams, Carlos Delgado, Juan Gonzalez, Mariano Rivera, Alex Rodriguez, Omar Vizquel. So he was considered the 17th best player overall that year. How in the heck did somebody from Tay Creek, New Brunswick, and the senior ball leagues in New Brunswick with, the $14 fence and the $400 scoreboard get to be the 17th greatest player in baseball in 1999? So again, we're so proud of him. We're so proud of his as an individual, as a player. But Matt Stairs, you might as well have a New Brunswick flag card with Matt Stairs in the middle. I like to see. It's too bad that Tops didn't do that. To make a card of him with the Blue Jays surrounded by a New Brunswick flag, that'd be tremendous. So that's the story of the great Matt Stairs. Good luck with the new job. And Alberta, Matt, I know you're going to do great. If you like what we're doing here with our New Brunswick Vintage Sports Podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.